I actually feel bad for people who are extremely wealthy. Today, I'm in world famous Beverly Hills. These are homes over here. They're worth millions and millions of dollars. And I actually want to say today that it actually isn't so great if you're wealthy or to be rich today. And I'm going to explain a lot of reasons why it actually is a really bad predicament for people who are wealthy. For one thing, this year in particular, people lost a lot of money in the stock market. The stock market has done absolutely terrible, and the crypto market has done terrible. But who owns stocks when you think about it? I guarantee you, people in this neighborhood, they own a lot of stocks. There are just a lot of stocks that they own, and they've gone down in value. So the truth is, if you are only worth like I don't know, 50,000 or so, you're doing way better than the people in this neighborhood, because they lost millions and millions of dollars owning all kinds of stocks, ETFs, and probably even cryptos. So that's just another reason why you're actually better off than the rich, because you actually lost less money than them. Another problem with being rich is that no matter what, politicians think they know you. They think they understand your problems, and they actually want to make things worse. Like, no matter what, they're like, we're gonna tax the rich, we're gonna take their money. And you're really thinking, wait a minute, I did really good work, I accomplished a lot, I started a company, and yet there are always some people who basically want to take their money away, whether it's the thieves or the government or politicians. That's kind of a unfortunate thing. When you're here, you're living here, and you can't really fight back. How many politicians you have saying, hey, no, don't tax me more? They usually are quiet about it, actually. That's kind of the irony. Like in California, the top tax rate is 13.3%. So if you make more than $1 million, that's your rate. You're paying that, and it's a fortunate thing. Nobody ever says, hey, I feel sorry for them paying more than me. But the truth is, doesn't it suck if you're paying that rate? I mean, that's pretty lame. Of course, these people could decide to leave California and pay a lower rate or even zero state income tax in some states, but for whatever reason they feel it's an advantage for now to remain here. Another problem with Beverly Hills or living in a wealthy areas, they don't really have any cheap stores like Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, Pick and Save, 7-Eleven. They don't have those kind of things. All they have are really expensive stores like Gucci on Rodeo Drive. They sell you really expensive stuff, and so people know that you have money. They're not willing to give you any deals. I mean, everything over here is just really, really pricey. They even have a supermarket, literally, that costs 2 or 3 times the price of every other supermarket for no apparent reason. It's just that they're cooler people who come here. It's really an amazing thing to see, but you can't even get a good deal at the supermarket when you live in a wealthy neighborhood, because they know you have money, and they're saying, hey, we don't need to give them a good deal. We'll just charge a high price. So the problem with this kind of area is that they know what you have, so they want to charge more, and everybody's looking to choke you. Another negative about being rich in Beverly Hills, everybody wants to come here as a tourist. So you have all these tourists over here. I mean, there's nothing wrong with tourism, but some people don't want to live in the touristy area. Everyone wants to take a picture in front of your area. You don't see people going into poor neighborhoods and trying to take photos of everything. So it comes as no surprise that people want to visit the wonderful area, and you pay top dollar to be here, and the people here, they came here for free just to hang out for the day and then leave. And this is another negative right here. If you do own real estate here, like especially commercial real estate, then in some cases it's so pricey that right now nobody can afford to rent it. So you see a whole bunch of these empty for lease signs all over the place, and I think it's a sign that you own this kind of stuff. It's not a good time to own it. You're losing money because your tenants can't afford to pay the rent that you need to charge, and that's another problem with being rich in Beverly Hills. And what I mentioned before, there was a supermarket that caters to the wealthy. It's here. It's Urban One. Let's see. Are you able to see? Okay. Anyway, this supermarket charges literally 2 or 3 or 4 times what you normally pay anywhere else. Like a yogurt is something like 10, 15, 20 bucks. This is for one little tiny yogurt. And for like a juice drink, it's like 21 bucks. So it's pretty pricey. And that shows you it's another sad thing about being rich, that it just raises that they just charge you more here too. So you make more, but you have to pay more too. And you can't expect that people who are wealthy always have the best taste too. You sometimes have to do things that are a little outrageous just for the sake of it, whether you like it or not. So lastly, I think I want to just mention, oh, and here's a Lamborghini parked in the red zone. That's another issue. I think you can park in the red zone if you're rich, because it doesn't matter what the parking fee is. In any case, what I think is important to recognize though is that people think that the lifestyle of someone who is very wealthy, that it's somehow completely different from their own. They think that wealthy people don't have the same issues, job loss, loss of investments, or they suffer from criminal activity, people want to steal their money, and they have the normal problems. Maybe they have isolated, maybe they're lonely, because you can't really talk to people about a lot of their issues because a lot of people unfortunately cannot relate. Here I'm on world famous Rodeo Drive. If you own the real estate on this street, one thing you would think is that it's really just not that busy right now. This is probably a major recession. People around the world are still not really spending, including the wealthy, and so things suffer. And a lot of people don't really realize though that a lot of middle class people, they also depend on their livelihoods from people who are extremely wealthy, who buy the products in these stores. Like the people who are working in the stores here, they're not wealthy, so their income really depends on wealthy people continuing to spend. So if they don't spend, people get angry. They're like, oh, why aren't they spending? They should be spending their money. And when they do spend their money, people tend to say, oh, look at how gaudy they are. They're just wasting their money on all this stuff. Why can't they just give it to the homeless? So the irony and the sad thing of all is that no matter what, people are going to criticize you. If you spend money, they criticize you. If you don't spend it, they're mad at you. And so you can't really win. People just don't really relate. They don't understand. And it's understandable when you don't really live that kind of lifestyle. People tend not to understand what's going on, and they just can't relate. And so instead they just go based upon their tribal instinct, which is to make fun of people and say, yeah, we ought to take their money, they don't deserve it, blah blah blah. But the truth is that most wealthy people do deserve the money. They have worked hard for it. And let's check out this one store. Just before I go, I want to check out this one store, because you can only go to the store if you are wealthy and you are invited in, or get an appointment. You cannot just go in. They always have a wonderful car parked in front of it too. So yeah, they have usually have pictures of presidents and kings and queens and blah 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 of people who shop there. And the interesting thing about it is that when you look for the items from that store on eBay, they're not worth that much. So people sell it at a big discount. Kind of shows that people in this neighborhood, they're buying it for the hype. And it shows you another thing about people who are extremely wealthy. They are definitely influenced by marketing, just like anybody else. Anyway, I just showed you that there's no point in trying to live the lifestyle that everybody on YouTube tells you need to be super wealthy. The truth is, maybe you don't, because the truth is people in this neighborhood, they have problems just like everybody else, and it might not be as good as you think it is. So maybe that's why everybody is starting to lie flat and say, maybe I need to quietly quit. Well, that's just my parody for the day, and I want to hear your comments in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe and click the like button. Bye bye.